Marsha, you walk in here, I'm listening to amazing music. Did you catch what I was listening to?
I did. That Would Be Wet.
Yes.
From the album Casablanco. And I was taken aback because it's crazy to hear it out loud.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This album, by the way, it's got like a little jazz vibe to it. It's got like this sultry energy. It's just, how did you produce this? You and Dr. Dre worked on it, right? So how are you so inspired? Like, I'm always in awe of really creative people that can do magnificent things. How?
Loaded question. The
I
how
know.
is all the feelings and all of the emotions regarding music, Dre and myself put into one album. So it was right in the midst of the pandemic, 2021, April through May, early June, we'd completed the entire album. So we started with one, it was magical, and then we kept going and going until we got to around about 10 songs, and Dre was like, one more and this is it. We've got an album. And it was all the fusions of jazz, R&B, hip-hop, all meshed into one thing.
Yes.
And it was like the end of the world at that point. You know, it's COVID. We didn't know what was going to happen. So if we had to make one more album to say, okay, thank you, music, for everything you've done for the planet Earth, it's this album.
This is it.
Casablanco was it.
Okay, so what is it about you, your artistry, that actually has Dr. Dre releasing music, right? Because we've heard this time and time again, whether it's his music or he's producing songs, he holds on to it.
Right.
But clearly he's comfortable and confident with the work that he did with you. Why? What's the secret? What do you got that obviously nobody else has?
You know what? I think it was just right time. We were both going through the same thing round about the same time. So this just felt like we had to see it through until the end. And I only believe that that's why it happened, because Dr. Dre, he said it in an interview recently that he may have only released 5% of the music that he's actually created. And because I've been creating with him for almost 20 years now, it's true. That actually might be an accurate depiction of the music he's released. So to be one of one and the only person on planet Earth to have a full album produced and mixed by Dre. Do I know why? Not really. Am I thankful that it is me and it is now? Absolutely. Yeah. But I just believe that this album, for him, he knows it's that good and it's that different. And it was just something outside the box, and it deserved to be heard by everyone. We couldn't hold on to this one.
Did you ask him what his favorite song on the album is?
It changes. It used to be One Night Stand, then it was Wet, then it was Greedy. Greedy came up a lot.
Yeah.
I think it kept coming back to Greedy because it's so obscure. It just feels like it's supposed to be one thing. And you're like, how does something this heavy hitting make you emotional? It's like the most gangster, thug-tiered ballad, mid-tempo, up-tempo. It's all the things in one. So it came back down to that one. I think. I say that now and he might have changed his mind.
What's your favorite song on the album?
Ooh, tough one. It might be Tunisian Nights.
Okay, so tell me about the title.
Casablanco.
Okay,
the album. Okay, so the album became titled Casablanco by day 2 of recording. Like, we recorded Tunisian Nights first, and I feel like because it's the first creation of this entire body of work, I just felt like it felt like a vintage Hollywood meets hip-hop, meets all of the things. And I was like, oh, it's like Casablanca, the movie and the place. So when I said it to Dre, he was like, nah, I like it, but it's a bit more gangster than that. So it's Casablanco, like Griselda Blanco.
Right.
I'm like,
okay.
It's accurate, you know? So it does the whole jazz movie moment in the beginning, and then it just hits you in the head with some hip-hop, and it's Casablanco. Casablanco is now the genre of the music.
This.
Oh, that's that Casablanco, yes.
Have you been to Casablanca?
Not yet, and I'm going, absolutely. Okay. I want to stand in the middle of somewhere serene and perform this and to the stars.
Oh, yeah.
I have to.
Have a different connection.
Has to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about Greedy. Are you greedy? Tell me about this song.
I'm greedy with the energy that I want to keep around me. And I feel like sometimes people greedy with the energy that they need from you. So at that time in recording, it was, I can't give you all of me. And it's never enough. So that line kept on ringing in my head. It's never enough. I could give you the moon and it's just not enough for you. Like, where's the sun? Where are the stars? Where's some grass? I just gave you the moon, though. How greedy are you?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, this ain't a game. I'm taking names, disrespect. I don't play that.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was an angry version of myself, but still sincere in feeling, I don't know, I was emotional about not being able to give my all at that time. You know, it was the pandemic. I couldn't be with my family. There was a travel ban in the UK. Most of my family was still over there and we couldn't see each other for years. That's insane. So it was like, people are greedy with time. I can't FaceTime you all the time. There's other people that still want the time, and time is the money.
Time
is money. And I didn't have a lot of it.
Did you realize this, especially after you became a mother?
Absolutely.
For sure. Doesn't that change everything?
The way my heart feels, the way I love, the time that I give. It's really about my family, like my own bubble. So I had that, and I didn't know what that meant until I had my own. Like my brother he got married and had kids first, and I couldn't understand, like, well, you don't talk? Why don't we talk as much as we do? And why don't you call me? And it's like, I get it now.
Totally.
You have your own thing. So I had a lot of apologizing to do over the years. Like, I get it now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
How did being a mother just change how you create music?
Like I said, it's that thing that your heart does. And I guess my pen felt like I had to speak on where I was in the moment.
Right.
But with Casablanco, with the encouragement of my support system, my husband in particular said that my pen is larger than life, and it's larger than just that part of me. There was a point in your life where we weren't married and you didn't have a kid yet.
Right.
Who's that? Because she has to speak too. So let your pen run free.
Right.
So I think I kind of had the best of both worlds with that now.
I mean, we get to see the titles. I mean, I heard the song, so I want you to give us a quick explanation behind some of the songs, the new songs on the album. It's risky.
A little bit.
One Night Stand.
Yes. So it derives from many experiences that I've had over the course of my life, but ultimately still coming back down to that one night stand that turned into 10 years later in a 7-year-old.
Do you believe that can happen with a one night stand?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, wait. So what are the expectations? I promise you, Katrina and I were just talking about this last night. What are the expectations of a one night stand?
If I know I'm feeling someone in that way, it's a bit more than just wanting to sleep with them. It's an energy thing. I would never give myself up to somebody that I didn't feel 100% with.
Right.
And with the one night stand, you can risk it all because there's no ties there. There's no emotional, obligation to be with this person, but in the feeling of wanting to give that part away, why not go all out and see where it goes? Even if it was for one night. So that one night might be phenomenal and that might be it.
Yeah.
You might do it again.
You're so confident. You're so confident.
I'm a Leo. Right, in my mind, it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. It's that Leo energy. That's what it does.
Okay, tell me about the song Wet.
I mean, listen to what you just said.
Yes.
The title in itself, Wet. It used to be called Precipitation, because there's another title on the album that kind of was an extension of this. So by the time it's wet, it's that longing for that moment with that one person that you need, that you long for. So when it's a flood, no pun, all pun intended, a flood of these emotions, it's just take me there and let me see how far you can take me there, how you can make me sing in places on me and in me that I didn't know were even capable.
You know what? This is why you're such a phenomenal songwriter. You just painted a whole picture for us right now.
And that's what ultimately that's where it was. It was, there I go.
Yeah.
I call you up when I want you to give me some. And
Wow.
you've got me literally looking out my window at a storm, whether it's and in that moment, I pictured the scene in Wizard of Oz. There's an entire tornado coming, and I'd still wait on that particular day.
Wow. Okay, so do you ever get self-conscious at all when you're writing lyrics like this and you're in a studio working with people and Dre's hearing you and you're just like, okay, this is kind of, no?
No, it's kind of unfair because musically, if I've been given a bed of melody and music by a producer, or if I've come up with it myself, sometimes the music speaks that way. So they're saying the same thing as I'm saying, just not with the lyrics. So I'm like, your music is saying all of this. I'm not just coming up with this out of my head, like making this up. So it's an exchange. It's the back and forth. We're intimately connecting through melody and lyric. So no self-consciousness with that, no.
What would you say is your favorite song on the album?
Mine has to be Tunisian Nights. It has to be. And that was the very first song that we recorded.
It's amazing.
And it didn't make any sense. It was just perfect. Like, I've recorded songs before. I've gone in the studio with a mindset that we were going to do something specific. But with this one, I heard the piano intro and it just happened. It's like it fell out of me. It was, I don't think it has happened. Maybe Say Yes, maybe Butterflies. But even then, they were still thought about. This one just felt like a divine intervention. This is going to happen whether you want it to or not. And it was like something was coming through me and magic.
Was there ever a song that you wrote that you wish you would have kept for yourself?
No.
Really?
Not really. Yeah, I think all of them, they find their places, you know. Like,
you don't
sometimes
have like an emotional connection, like attachment to them. You're just like, oh, I wish I would have kept that one.
No. Even with, I mean, the examples are Butterflies was never for Michael Jackson. It was just a song that I wrote when I was 16. And I get to have that on a demo years later, and Michael Jackson loves it and it becomes his. So with Say Yes, I actually wrote that for Ron Isley, but he didn't take it. So I can't be mad that he didn't take it, because then it's mine now. Well, ends up on the Floetry album and it changes everything. So it's like wherever these things are supposed to be, they end up where they're actually supposed to be.
That is so
I
crazy.
just gotta let it live.
And did you ever have a chance to actually connect with Michael Jackson?
Yes, we actually recorded Butterflies in New York at the Hit Factory. I was here for 2 weeks and we mixed the song in LA and we connected from there on out ever since.
I need details. What was going through your mind?
I mean,
like, did you say anything? Was this the first time that you met him, or like this?
Yes. So I'd spoken to him once by phone early. That was like summer of 2000 when he'd heard the demo. So by March of 2001, we're in the studio, and I just remember the sign on the door saying Michael Jackson and Friends, and like you tell front desk, hi, my name is Marsha Ambrosius.
I'm the friend.
I'm on the guest list. I'm one of the friends. And it was ridiculous. So I walk in the room and he's already there. He's already warming up his vocals. And we say hi, and he just had this glow and this aura that you'd expect from the king of pop. And I'm like, I'm 22, 23 at that point. I'm like, what do I even do with this? But okay, whatever. And so I'm sitting behind, the mixing board, the desk, and he's behind the glass and getting ready to, snap his fingers and Butterflies. And he just starts singing, and I'm just sitting there crying. Like, I couldn't hold it back because I had to get it out. And then the engineer was sat next to me, and it was just like, all right, get it out. Now we've got work to do. Very kindly, Bruce Swedian, and been his engineer through the classics. And even that was a moment. So by the time I'm actually into it and I'm telling Michael Jackson what to do, a friend of mine just said, you're telling him what to do, but Michael Jackson listened to you.
This is crazy.
Listened every step of the way, and we recorded that song together. And when I press play on that is when it only becomes the actual reality. Like, I really did that. And when I press play, I can hear the work that was put into that. And
that's crazy.
One of the most amazing moments of my life.
Do you remember what you did right after? Did you call anybody? Was there any, were you just like, wait, what just happened?
I remember
What's going on in my life?
hilariously, I was staying at the Hudson Hotel, and they had this order where you could get like a cheeseburger, a cupcake, and some fries and a milkshake. It was like the diner special. I remember ordering that, and I called my parents, and I ate that food, and I cried my eyes out. And every day he was on TV because that week he'd been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So I'm seeing every version of Michael. I'm seeing ABC Mike to Human Nature Mike to Dangerous Mike to, it was this is the same guy. This is I'm up the street tomorrow, like working with the king. So when I'm walking to the session, I'm looking at people in the street like, you really have no idea where I'm going right now. Like, this is insane. So I feel like my whole life has felt like that. The fact that 24 years after that, I'm going to Dre's studio every day for like a year, just recording with great people and getting to feature on some of the greatest work that I've done, only to get this album and be some of the greatest work I've ever done.
That is so
crazy.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Is there anything that you asked Dre or Michael, a piece of advice or a gem when it comes to creating music that you apply now in your life?
It's all of it. It's really understanding in their journey how they got there and why they are the way they are. There's a level of empathy because you're in it, but I couldn't tell you what it felt like to be a Michael Jackson or what it feels like to be a Dre, but you can see the work, like the tireless late nights, no pun intended, late nights, early mornings that they endured, and knowing that they're not great just because that happened that way. It
didn't happen on accident.
No, they're great because they're great at what they do, but they work at that relentlessly. And I think that's what both of them saw and see in me. It's the same work ethic. Like, I'm not leaving this studio till we get something.
Right.
Never. Like, oh, no one wants to work? Well, I'm up.
Right.
Play a chord or I'll play it myself. Engineers, you're not here. Okay, I'll cut it myself. I'll just do it.
I'm going to record it myself.
However which way it happens, you're going to get a result out of me. And I feel like, going back to what you said, well, why is Dre choosing this album?
Absolutely.
I really think it's that. It's the work put in. Yeah. And I'm not saying no one else ever did, but it was just a right time, and me being able to lend from the greats and seeing how hard they worked at it to get there.
There's this footage of you with Method Man, was hearing a snippet from the new album. What was he listening to?
Wet.
Oh.
Because in the hook, I hit that, you got that METHOD, man. So that part came on and he lost it. So I'm all butterflies and giddy because it's Method Man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I have to play it for you.
Right.
And he said he agreed, and just to see him blush and offer to do the music video where he'll be my leading man.
Yeah.
It's all I could ever ask for. It's a dream come true.
It's
exactly what, it's just all happening. So yeah, he was listening to Wet and got to hear that part and piece of it that he contributed unknowingly.
That is so awesome. What a great story. And I love that you were able to share that with him. Those are the moments that truly matter, because it's like you're showing love, you're showing admiration, and you're not scared to do that.
Right. I think a lot of people don't, and we should. And It shouldn't have taken a pandemic or like all of these flowers are now given. Weren't we just giving flowers before? Like, why is no one saying thank you? Why is no one actually saying, you've really inspired me or done all of these things to make me who I am? And I've done that through my music anyway, but Casablanco literally is one giant thank you. So I was glad to share that with him specifically for having a moment on that particular song.
Do you feel like you get the love and the recognition that you deserve? Great songwriter, beautiful voice, amazing producer.
I do.
Good. Okay.
Because I get it from where it counts, So I feel like people saying they want these things, is it a numbers thing? Is it because one person told you or 1 million, those 1 million people might be butts. Like, they're just saying it because someone said it. They don't feel you. They don't know you. I'm getting the adoration and the thank yous and the respect from where it counts. If Michael Jackson's told me that, if Prince has told me that, Stevie, those are my 3 top tier heroes. To then still have a Dr. Dre doing an album with me, to then still have features with most of hip hop, 98% of hip hop that we know, I featured with and for. So I'm getting the adoration and respect from where I want it also.
Was there a time in your life where you realized you're seeking that love from all the wrong places?
Of course, because we're green
humans.
in the industry, naive, young, and it's, why am I not getting played here? Or why is no one, all the things, but it's the noise. It's just the noise. And maturity, motherhood, certain things change you, but just experience also, because it's like, what does anything matter?
Right.
So it's like, it doesn't matter. It's not important. And you don't realize that it's not important until it really isn't.
Would you say becoming a mother made you realize how important time, life, and what really matters for you?
Absolutely. I mean, between that and just even over the pandemic, almost having a health scare of my own right before Dr. Dre had his, and that being a main factor in the outlook of, nothing is for certain, for real. Like, I think when you put something out into the universe and you want certain things for your life, you really have to be clear on what that is, because it can ring true, good or bad. So I feel like every step of the way, my family, my daughter, like, has allowed my heart to feel different in a much better, more clearer way.
Now, you had mentioned that your last album, which is named after your daughter, Nyla.
Yes.
You learned how to let go. What does that mean? What is letting go? What are we letting go of?
It comes back to that Leo mess, that toxic hold on to, I'm talking about holding on to things that I thought about when I was 15 that I really should have let go. Like, it's those things. And we don't realize that they're transferring into, parts of your life that matter still.
Yes.
Like, Marsh, it doesn't matter. And I had to really, really check myself. And that's very, very difficult for me to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
The fact that you were able to do that and have that
it's a ridiculous hot
self-reflection.
mess. It's horrible. But through work and through therapy, through time, I can look in the mirror and scream and cry and laugh and be okay with all of the things. Before, I just wanted, can I just smile? But that smile wasn't a real one. Like, it's not a smile. Like, sometimes you have to let those tears fall, and they might not be sad.
Right.
It might just be release and relief from all the things that you're holding on to. So,
what would you say has been the biggest misconception about you? And now that you are where you are in your life, you're like,
I have no idea how people see me. It's weird. So even if it's, I didn't expect this. It's, well, what were you expecting? And then you can't explain it, because when you do meet me, it's, this is exactly who you'd be.
Right.
But I can't worry about or be concerned with that part, whereas I may have been back then, even if it was just a little thing. But I was never concerned with how I appeared, how I came across. It was very much me being me. I don't think much has changed other than weight fluctuating up and down. I used to be 80 to 90 pounds heavier than this early on in the 2000s, but happily so. I moved to Philly, cheesesteaks, pizza. It was great. Great recording, great songs, all of these things happening. Happy weight, you know? And then it was, I used to play basketball. I can't run up the stairs anymore. This is unhealthy. Get in the gym, get your life together. And I guess that's my only changes for me. And that was still aesthetic. It wasn't who I was as a person. So I don't know. However you see it, cool. When you meet me, if I'm different, if I'm the same, or if, I'm so glad you're you, whatever it is. I'm just the most unbothered. Okay. Like,
Okay, fine.
cool.
But the confidence exudes from you. And so even when we're talking about Casablanco and feeling the confidence, the energy, it's a very, here I am.
Yeah.
Take it, enjoy it. This is what it is. This is where the body of work that you're giving and willing to share with everybody. And the fact that you are okay with what people have to say, obviously it's years of this, right?
Right,
Like,
of
you're not
course.
new in that way, but
Right.
still,
It's
there's
still
confidence
vulnerable.
there.
It is confidence, but it's still vulnerability.
Right.
Like I said, as soon as I heard it when you were listening to it, as I walked
You
in,
did.
I'm like, oh God, you can hear it. But then it's exciting at the same time. So I'm okay with that, but it's still fresh and new and refreshing to still feel excited about something that I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you feel any way when people want to hear anything from Flowetry again?
No, it's classic.
Okay. Because,
Absolutely. It's
sometimes people
24
don't want to be
years.
attached to previous work. And,
I feel like I used to feel like that because you evolve as an artist and you're like, oh no, I want to perform these songs now, and everyone's still stuck on. But I have to nod to how classic I had to be for you to still want something that I did 24 years ago. And I think a lot of artists don't do that because they're trying to move past or move forward or show you where they are now. Even with Casablanco, there are certain songs I've written in my career that even if I do a concert, I still have to go back to those two.
Wait,
or
which
those
ones?
three,
Which
or those
ones?
four. It has to be a Say Yes, or it has to be a Butterflies, it has to be a
Yes.
Far Away.
Yes.
At least three.
Right.
And then I can show you where I'm at in my life and give you the new. But some people don't embrace that. Like, oh, I refuse to perform
Oh, yeah.
my...
It
and
happens.
I get that because it gets monotonous.
Sure.
But you have to switch it up and create it for your now. Say Yes is something different now that I'm married. Butterflies is something different now that I'm married. Far Away is different because of how many people I lost over the course of 24 years, being away from Liverpool, being away from London, like just being away from family and friends. And then the pandemic happens and how many people were lost over that time. So Far Away hits different. So it's almost like I owe it to a fan base that were healed through these songs, regardless of me being on my Casablanco and I'm going to give you all of this thing. Like, that's cool, but I'll embrace the greatness that has
Yes.
been what I've been doing for 24 years, if it's still required.
And we will always want more.
And that's a good thing.
We'll always want more. It just what you do, the voice, the artistry, the vision, just it's very hard to come across very good, great, talented people, in general that are so good at so many things at the same time. It's just, that's why I was wondering about when you put this album with Dr. Dre, like, is it more of your opinions on it? Is it more of him? But I feel like it's you. That's me. I'm not saying that Dre didn't contribute. I'm just saying you are very clear on your vision.
So it goes back to the assumption on who people think I am when I'm in a room. So I've even walked into rooms with different producers and I've expected them out of the session and they've come up with something that they think is me. And I'm like, well, what's this? I need this. I need this, what you do, but because of what they think I am. I think Dre did that this time around in a way, but we met in the middle. It was straight 50-50. Even if I wanted to give my jazz, give my R&B, give all of my things, he still had a way to twist it. So it was almost like a MC or DJ battle. Like who can outdo each other with, okay, I'm gonna throw Wu-Tang in here. Okay, I'm gonna throw Duke Ellington. Well, I'll throw Perry Mason. Well, I'll throw George Benson. Well, it was like, who can outdo the person with their musical knowledge on one album? So 50-50 for sure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And please come and visit us again.
Always.
Please, because
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed this conversation. I know your schedule is packed, but we have a lot to talk about. We're moms. Katrina and I are new moms.
We need hats. We need all the things.
Yes. And we also need to stick together because mom life is no joke.
It's not.
Especially when you're driven. You have a career. You're so successful. It's the first time, I always say this, and tell me if you agree, it's the first time I've had to learn not to be selfish.
Oh my goodness.
Because I am very pre-baby, very selfish. It's all about my career.
It's the first thing I told my husband.
Was it?
I'm terrible. I'm about me and
Yes.
me only, and that's it.
That's
it
it.
starts and stops there. So if you can deal with that.
Yep.
And here we are. And then it is building a family, and it's like,
That's right.
it's not about me anymore.
At all.
And I have to deal with that.
And if anything, you're last now.
Oh my
In
goodness.
everything, right?
And you have to laugh at that.
Yes.
Because it's all the karma in the world. It's like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah,
Yes.
I absolutely feel you. I'm absolutely lost. That's ridiculous.
We're
to be
all-
first
to
all the
be
way
first.
and to be dead last.
It is.
It's great.
It's done. Those days are done. We're last now.
Right.
Final question. What do you want people to take away from your new album, Casablanco?
Breathe it in. Like, you'll find the things that you've loved about music too. I know it just wasn't myself and Dre. I know we were thinking above and beyond our own personal favorite catalogs. It's your own, and if you listen, you'll hear you in it for sure. Like, there are so many elements that if you press play on one song, you'll get lost. You'll be on song 4 and not realize it. Or you'll be in song 9. Like, where am I in this music? Like,
Am
how
I
is
on
this
the
the
greatest?
same song
Yeah,
exactly?
where am I on this? Yeah.
Just get lost. Breathe it in and get lost in the music for sure.
Are we ready? June 28th. It is almost here.
Oh.
Days out.
I'm counting down. I am counting down.
Are
the
you going to go on a
days.
vacation after it's out? Like, what are you?
Keep speaking on this vacation I've never had. I might
Never?
need one. Not really. A kind of, but not really. I take my family to Disney World. I take my family to Disneyland.
no.
That's technically not really a rest. I've
No.
done vacations where I've worked on a beautiful tropical island, but
Right.
I've had to do a festival, take the day off before, take a couple of days after, but it's still work. So I haven't really taken a true trip for myself that didn't involve family and, the running around. And I do love Disney World. I'm not going to lie. I'll be okay with that.
You need to go to the islands.
I do. And will. So I'll see how this goes. But I feel like I'm going to be on tour for the next 5 years.
Are you going to go right away
Casablanca.
on tour?
This album requires a live
You are
performance.
obsessed with work. You are obsessed.
I am, but I'm thinking about the show and where,
whole
like you
thing.
said, Casablanca. So I can make a vacation out of that, but I can also sing to the moon. So I'll make it work, but I'll also go and sit down somewhere. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I
We'll
love
see.
it. Well, have fun. I can't wait till you go on tour. I can't wait for your fans to enjoy seeing you again. Because, it's been a minute.
It has.
Lots has happened in the world. So we are ready. And come back anytime and say
I
hi to the
will.
family.
I will too. Thank you so much.
Of course.